What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Brett. Right now, this video is inspired by a X space that I just watched. I can't find it, man. I wish I did. I wish I could have saved it or remembered who it was I was talking about it. But it happened today, about an hour, 30 minutes before I made this video here. Today on the 26th of April. Maybe for some people it's the 27th. On the charts, it's the 27th. But the title was Brett, the next Shiba Inu, or the next sheep of this bull cycle, or something like that. That was the title. There were a lot of people that watched this, so I'm sure some of you who are watching this, you probably know. And the main reason I want to watch this video, the main inspiration behind this is that, and forgive my language, forgive my candidness right now, but I'm just going to be blunt here, is that whole space to me seemed like you had a bunch of moon boys who are essentially beating each other off, talking about how undefeatable this coin is, how invincible it is, how it's up only, it's the next big thing, there's a whole lot of good things going on with it, it's just gonna up, that's it, it's the best thing, why aren't you in it, you should get in it, you know. It sounded like, it sounded ridiculous. Everything that they said that I heard, especially, and I think it was the host, and I'm not trying to dog these guys, I don't care, I don't know them, I'm not trying to insult them, but I am being critical of their opinions of what they said, because I think there are a lot of people who are new in the markets who are watching that, who could be affected by that. You might feel the FOMO for this coin. You might see that, oh, hey, it dropped 24%. Maybe now it's a good time to get in. I will prove, maybe not prove, I will show some examples as to why it might not be a good time to get in and why it might be good to wait. But this is for the people who just watched that X space, who might be feeling the FOMO on Brett. You know, I heard things like the host, he said that you know, it hit an $800 million market cap already, and it's like first couple months of existence. That should solidify it right there. It's like the next big thing. No, that's not how it works, man. That's really not how it works. It's a meme coin. Sometimes euphoria and stuff like that happens. Popularity gets you there, but then when it starts to dump, if it can't recover, things like this can see moves like this and then just inevitably fizzle out to nothing. It really can. I've seen it happen plenty of times. I've been in crypto since 2015. I've been trading actively and been heavily involved since 2017, over 7 years now. But since 2015 that was the first time I interacted with crypto actually and bought my first Bitcoins. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just giving a little bit of a background. I'm not some random person who just joined last cycle. You know what I mean? And it's okay if you joined last cycle, but even if you did get in last cycle, you're still new. You're still new. You're still susceptible to all these beginner mistakes that happen. Some people learn quicker than others. I myself didn't. It took me longer to learn, and that's okay. Most people, it takes, from what I've heard, it takes like 4 to 6 years. You know, that's the average. And the host, he made it clear that he had only been heavily involved for about 3 years. So that to me is just not enough time. And hearing how he talked, man, it was just like straight moon boy BS the whole time. I've been there, and those were my degen days, man. You can tell that he's in his degen days because he's going gung-ho on a meme coin. And it can be the next big thing, man. Don't get me wrong. I was very gung-ho on Dogecoin last cycle because of Elon Musk. This thing doesn't have an Elon Musk going for it. It's got a lot of hype and a lot of euphoria around it, and that's cool. But that can only take you so far, man. If this was pumping up like this and it was the next big thing, there was like some new tech backing it, there was some big kind of things going on with it behind the scenes other than just hype and euphoria, then I'd have more hopes for it. But the fact that you've pumped up so much in such a short amount of time, that's not the fib I wanted to draw. Tells me you're probably going to see a massive correction soon. And really what you just did was you consolidated for quite some time, moved down, right, to the point where you'd break this consolidation. You broke it with a solid breakout candle with very solid volume, the second biggest volume you've seen on a daily basis in this thing's history, which isn't that long of an existence, which again adds to the fact that it's not yet legitimate. Saying that it's not ruggable because it hit an $800 million market cap, that's not how this works, man. There are plenty of coins that have even exceeded $1 billion market cap and have been rug pulled. It does happen, or they inevitably fizzle out into nothing. That happens. It happens to actually most cryptos that exist. They fizzle out into nothing. I'm not saying that this one will. It might after this cycle, who knows, but I would expect that throughout this cycle it probably does grow. It probably will see new all-time highs. But first, you've got lower to go. My genuine opinion is that you will probably break this 618. I'm curious to see how you react with it, but if you close a day, especially if you close a day below that line on your first attempt, the likely zone to expect would be about 1.26 cents to 0.755 cents. That's $0.012 to $0.0075. Okay, you're at 4 cents right now. That's an immense sell-off, right? You've already seen from top to where you are now, you've already seen a 52% drop, actually more than that, 55% drop. I'm talking about an 84% drop, potentially a 91% drop. From the current price, that would be another 69% to 81%, you know, so it's not done yet. And this is not likely yet. This is possible. When this zone becomes likely is when you react poorly with this area, with the 618, which is at 3.385 cents. If you close below that on the first pass, again, this zone is not just a possibility anymore. It's a likelihood. And with the way this looks, with how you've kind of rolled over, and you're gaining momentum and you're gaining volume right now, I would expect this happens fast, man. You're probably just as fast as you came up, you're going to come down. This is crypto. I've been around for several cycles now. This is my third cycle. Third bull cycle, yeah. Things like this in bull cycles, in bear cycles, in crab markets, whatever. When they pump up, you see these pump and dumps. It happens. It's literally like a nature of charts and of crypto specifically. And it can dump all the way down here and still go up to see new all-time highs. That's okay. But I'm just saying a 70 to 90% drop for any new meme coin, I don't care how high the market cap went, the higher the worse probably in a short amount of time, where this guy was saying that like it's a good thing, and it can be a good thing. It's a good thing if you held early and you sold up here, but if you didn't sell yet, then you're round tripping it, in which case you're not really any different than a lot of degens that enter the space. I'm one of them, man. You know, that happens. I bought Dogecoin below a penny. I could have sold it at 70 cents. I literally had the sell set for 78 cents. On Robinhood, it went up to 73 cents or 75 cents, and I was too stubborn to sell it for cheaper, even though I literally was going to sell it the day that the top happened, but I wanted that extra few cents, and instead I averaged out at 14 cents. Got in below a cent, averaged out at 14 cents. Not bad gains, but it could have been way better, man. It could have been a 90x, and I round tripped it, essentially. And that's what I'm sure a lot of these moon boys are going to do, man. And I'm not trying to talk about that so much right now. I'm trying to talk about the TA. Really, a 70 to a 90% drop is something you could see, and that would take you below your 786. A 90% drop would take you all the way down to about your 1618 down here. So, I mean, I would at least expect a 2.6 cent price, if not potentially a 0.007 to 1.269 cent area. That's what I'm thinking. So I really just wanted to make this video quick. I feel like it's gone on longer than intended already. But the main inspiration behind it was just this crazy moon boy X space that I was just listening to, and I don't think that this thing, again, I don't think that it's over. I think that it will grow higher, but I do think for the time being, with how much euphoria is surrounding it, because it's not just that space that it's euphoric around, right, man? There are a lot of people in my own channel who talk about it, who brought it to my attention. And whenever you have that, whenever all eyes are on something, that's when it tends to do bad. It's when nobody knows about it that it does its best work, right? So now that everybody's eyes are on it, now that all the late people got in at the top, it's time to sell. And then whenever it sells off, all the people that got in up here, emotional buyers, they're going to turn into emotional sellers, and that just adds fuel to the fire to the downside. So my minimum expected target, again, is like 2.6 cents, but genuinely speaking, let's just see how you interact with this green line here, the 618 at about 3.385 cents. Let's see how you act with that. If it's poor, and I do expect it to be poor, you're going lower. You're likely going to 1.27 cents to, if not, 0.755 cents. If we look at the daily RSI, it looks terrible. It looks sad. It looks like you want to go lower. If you look at the 4-hour RSI, it also looks terrible. It looks sad. You might be near a relative low point, but you probably want to go lower from here. You probably test that 618. You might actually find support on the first attempt. That wouldn't be bad at all. If not, if you go lower and then you come up and you find resistance on it and you kind of consolidate like this, whatever, it's condemning. It's very, very condemning. So interesting to see what happens over the next few days. But either way, even if you come down and you bounce up here, you're still not out of the woodworks. That's still a lower high in this trend. You'd be back testing an area for support, and then even on a second attempt, breaking below that 618, that would still increase your likelihood of seeing this. It's whenever you have that third attempt, if you find support on it twice and that third attempt happens, okay, then maybe you do hold this area. Maybe in these areas would not be likely anymore. It'd be this area that would be likely, or potentially not even. Maybe you just hold that and you go up. But we have a lot of time to prove that. Nothing is solid yet. It's all just speculation. And that's the main thing, man. It's all speculation. This is a meme coin. Nobody really knows what's going on. So be careful. Be careful, everybody. Don't feel the FOMO with this thing. It's just, in my opinion, it's just getting started. You had this huge, not huge, but relatively large phase of consolidation. You just broke out to the downside. You've probably got lower to go. And that's all I got to say. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. Take care.